about the medical surgical nursing 2 for the GNM second years. So in this we are going to discuss about, that is unit 5 and nursing management of patient with the disorders of ear, nose and throat. So in the last class we have seen about the otitis media, and in this there is a 3 types. It includes the acute otitis media and acute otitis media with effusion and chronic otitis media. And so in the last class we have seen acute otitis media up to the clinical manifestation. So it is part 2 about the acute otitis media. So there is a part 2, it includes the diagnostic evaluation for the acute otitis media. So there is a some of the diagnostic evaluation and we can diagnose the acute otitis media. So there is a diagnostic evaluation includes the otoscope. So the otoscope can be used to diagnose the any swelling or redness, any pus formation and any fluid is present in the ear or not, we can identify by the otoscope. So the otoscope can be used to know the any swelling or redness, any pus formation or any blood which present in the ear or not, we can identify by the otoscope. So the otoscope also used to know the any perforation for the ear drum. So eardrum, if the any perforation has occurred in the eardrum, and we can identify by the otoscope. So the next one is the tympanometry. So the tympanometry, it can be used to diagnose the function of the tympanic membrane. So the tympanometry, it can be used to measure the pressure within the ear canal. So the tympanometry, it can be used to measure the pressure within the tympanic membrane and any fluid which is present in the middle ear, and it can be identified by the tympanometry. So the tympanometry can be used to measure the pressure within the middle ear, and any fluid is present or not, we can identify by the tympanometry. And the next one is the reflectometry. So the reflectometry, it can be used to know the reflection of the sound from reflection of the sound. So the reflectometry, the material, the reflectometry, that instruments should be kept nearby the ear and making the sound, and it is reaching to the ear or not, otherwise it is reflecting, and we can identify by the reflectometry. So the reflectometry, it can be used to know the fluid which is present or not in the ear, and we can identify by the reflectometry. So if the fluid is present, the sound cannot be reached to the ear and it can be reflected back. So by this reflectometry, we can identify the fluid present or not by the reflectometry. So the reflectometry, that instrument should be keep near to the ear, and we are making the sound and it can be reaching to the ear, it is normal. And if the patient having any fluid in the ear canal, and the fluid can be in the ear canal, and the sound should not be reached to the ear and it be reflected to the back. So it is the reflectometry. So the next one is the hearing test. So the hearing test can be used to diagnose the any hearing loss is present or not, we can identify by the hearing test. So there is a diagnostic evaluation includes the otoscope and tympanometry, and there is a reflectometry and hearing test. So the next one is the management. So the management, it includes the medical management. So the medical management includes the antibiotic therapy. So antibiotic therapy, it includes to reduce the infection, and we can providing the antibiotic therapy. So in this there is a first line medications and the second line medication. So the first line medication includes the amoxicillin and the second line medications it includes the penicillin. So there is a amoxicillin and the penicillin antibiotics, and it can be given to the patient to reduce the infection. And there is a next one is the decongestant nasal drops. So because of this otitis, because of the accumulation of fluid, and there is a decongestant can be congestion can be occur in the nasal area. So to relieve from this congestion, and we can provide the decongestant nasal drops. So we can relieve from the congestion and we are providing the decongestant nasal drops. So congestion means there is a occlusion of the fluids. So there, because of this occlusion of fluid, there is a become tightness which is present in the nasal area, and it can be relieved by the decongestant nasal drops. So the decongestant nasal drops, it includes the ephedrine, and next one is the oral nasal decongestant. So orally providing the nasal decongestant. So that includes the pseudoephedrine. So that is 30 mg and twice daily. Daily 2 times in a day, and that is 30 micrograms and the pseudoephedrine. So the next one is the analgesics and the antipyretics. So the patient may have the ear ache. So to reduce the pain in the ear and providing the analgesics and the antipyretics. So because of this infection, the patient may have the temperature. So to reduce this temperature, we are providing the antipyretics. So that is the paracetamol, and paracetamol can be given to the patient to reduce the temperature. So this is the medical management for the acute otitis media, that is the first line and second line medication, and decongestant nasal drops and oral nasal decongestant and analgesics and antipyretics. So next one is the surgical management for the acute otitis media. So the surgical management, it includes the tympanocentesis. So the tympanocentesis means there is a needle can be inserted into the ear canal, that is middle ear, and we are removing the fluid from the middle ear. So tympanocentesis means there is a needle can be inserted into the middle ear, and we are removing the excessive fluid from the middle ear. So the which fluid is removed from the middle ear, and it can be sent for the lab to know the what are the microorganisms present in the fluid. So that is the tympanocentesis. So tympanocentesis ante injection ద్వారా లోపలికి ఒక చిన్న నీడిల్ని పంపించి నీడిల్ ద్వారా మనం ఆ ఫ్లూయిడ్ని కలెక్ట్ చేసి దాన్ని ల్యాబ్కి పంపించినట్లయితే అందులో మైక్రో ఆర్గానిజమ్స్ అనేవి ప్రజెంట్ అయినాయా లేదా అని తెలుసుకోవడానికి ఈ టింపానోసెంటసిస్ అనేది చేస్తారు. సో టింపానోసెంటసిస్ ద్వారా చెవి లోపల ఏదైతే ఫ్లూయిడ్ ఉంటుందో దాన్ని రిమూవ్ చేయడాన్ని tympanocentesis అంటారు. సో the tympanocentesis means by inserting the needle we are removing the fluid which is present in the middle ear, and after that it can be sent to the lab for the what are the organisms which are present in the fluid, and we can identify. So the next one is the myringotomy. So the myringotomy means there is a incision can be made, and by using the forceps, and incision can be made by the instrument, and that is there is a forceps can be used in the myringotomy, and by this incision and along with the suction there is a catheter can be inserted into the ear, and the excessive fluid can be removed from the ear canal. So it is called as myringotomy. myringotomy అంటే సర్జరీ చిన్న ఇన్సిషన్ అనేది చేసి చెవి లోపల ఏదైతే ఎక్సెసివ్ ఫ్లూయిడ్ ఉంటుందో దాన్ని ఒక క్యాథెటర్ ద్వారా రిమూవ్ చేయడాన్ని myringotomy అంటారు. సో the myringotomy means there is a small incision can be made and the catheter can be inserted into the ear canal and removing the excessive fluid from the ear. So the next one is it completes the acute otitis media. So the next one is the otitis media with the effusion. So the effusion means there is nothing but accumulation of fluid. So the second one is otitis media with effusion. So the definition is it is characterized by the accumulation of non-purulent effusion in the middle ear. So there is a acute otitis media with effusion means there is a accumulation of non-purulent fluid in the middle ear. Non-purulent means there is no pus formation, only clear fluid can be present in the middle ear. So that is called as non-purulent. Non-purulent ante pus formation anedi undadu, fluid anedi clear ga untadi, excessive fluid anedi chevi lopala ఉండడాన్ని otitis media with effusion అంటారు. సో the effusion is become thick and viscid. సో చెవి లోపల ఉండే ఫ్లూయిడ్ అనేది థిక్ మందంగా ఉంటుంది, ఇంకా విస్కీడ్ అంటే స్టిక్కీ తత్వాన్ని కలిగి ఉంటుంది, అతుక్కునే తత్వాన్ని కలిగి ఉంటుంది. సో ద విస్కీడ్ అంటే అతుక్కునే తత్వం కలిగి ఉండడం. సో ద otitis media with the effusion there is a accumulation of non-purulent effusion in the middle ear. So there is a no pus formation and the fluid should be become thick and viscid means it is having stickiness. So it is called as otitis media with the effusion. So the next one is the causes. Causes, there is a malfunctioning of the eustachian tube. So there is a malfunctioning. So there is a dysfunction of the eustachian tube. So the eustachian tube, the main function is it maintains the pressure in the middle ear. So the eustachian tube, it is tube and it can be connected from the middle ear to the nasopharynx. So the main function is the eustachian tube, it maintains the pressure in the middle ear. So if the dysfunction, what will happen? There is a adenoid hyperplasia. So there is a adenoid hyperplasia means there is a inflammation of the upper airway. So there is a congestion of the eustachian tube. So there is a because of the fluid the eustachian tube become congested. So there is a adenoid hyperplasia means there is a congestion of the eustachian tube and inflammation of the upper airway and it mostly seen in the children. So next one is the chronic rhinitis. There is a continuous sneezing and watery eyes and allergy itchiness can be present. And there is a sinusitis means there is a inflammation of the sinus and there is a tonsillitis, inflammation of the tonsils. So there is a malfunctioning of the eustachian tube includes the adenoid hyperplasia and chronic rhinitis and sinusitis and there is a chronic tonsillitis. And the next one is the allergies and viral infection. So some of the allergies and there is a viral infection, it is also causes the malfunctioning of the eustachian tube. So the next one is the pathophysiology. So the pathophysiology, it includes the malfunctioning of the eustachian tube. So because of the dysfunctioning of the eustachian tube, what will happen? There is an increased secretory activity of the middle ear. So from the middle ear there is a secretions can be released because of the malfunctioning of the eustachian tube. So because of this secretion there is a excessive amount of fluid can be present in the middle ear. So it is a pathophysiology. There is a malfunctioning of the eustachian tube and it leads to the increased secretory activity of the middle ear. So the next one is clinical manifestations. The clinical manifestations, it includes the hearing loss. So because of the malfunctioning of the eustachian tube there is a hearing loss can be present and there is a mild ear ache. So the patient may have the ear pain. And the next one is the delayed speech. So స్పీచ్ అనేది లేటుగా రావడం, మాట్లాడడం లేటుగా మాట్లాడతారు, ఇంకా చెవిలో నొప్పిగా ఉండడం, హియరింగ్ లాస్ అనేది ఉంటుంది. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ ద క్లినికల్ మేనిఫెస్టేషన్. సో ద నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఈజ్ ద డయాగ్నోస్టిక్ ఎవాల్యుయేషన్. సో ద డయాగ్నోస్టిక్ ఎవాల్యుయేషన్ ఇంక్లూడ్స్ ద ట్యూనింగ్ ఫోర్క్ టెస్ట్. So the tuning fork test, it includes the to know the hearing loss is present or not, and we can identify by the tuning fork test. So tuning fork test ద్వారా హియరింగ్ లాస్ అనేది ఉందా, హియరింగ్ అనేది ఉందా లేదా అని తెలుసుకోవడానికి ఈ ట్యూనింగ్ ఫోర్క్ టెస్ట్ అనేది చేస్తారు. సో నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఈజ్ ద ఆడియోమెట్రీ. సో ద ఆడియోమెట్రీ కెన్ బి యూజ్డ్ టు నో ద ఇంటెన్సిటీ ఆఫ్ ది సౌండ్ and it is reaching to the ear or not, we can identify by the audiometry. So audiometry సౌండ్ అనేది ఎంతవరకు చెవి వరకు చేరుతుందో లేదో అని తెలుసుకోవడానికి ఈ ఆడియోమెట్రీ అనేది చేస్తారు టెస్ట్. సో ఆడియోమెట్రీ ఇట్ కెన్ బి యూజ్డ్ టు నో ద ఇంటెన్సిటీ ఆఫ్ ది సౌండ్ అండ్ వైబ్రేషన్స్ ఆఫ్ ది vibration, it is reaching to the ear or not, we can identify by the audiometry. And the next one is the X-ray mastoid. So the mastoid bone యొక్క X-ray అనేది తీసాం. Mastoid bone it can be situated behind the ear. So the X-ray of the mastoid can be done to know the any problems in the mastoid bone. And the next one is the management for the otitis media with the effusion. So the management it includes the decongestants and anti-allergies. So to relieve from the congestion we are advising the decongestants and the anti-allergics. So there is a, if the patient having any allergies, rhinitis or the sinusitis, and we are administering anti-allergic drugs. And the next one is the surgical management. So that the surgical management includes the myringotomy. There is a small incision can be made into the ear canal, and along with incision, and there is a suctioning catheter can be inserted into the ear canal and to drain the fluid from the ear, middle ear. So the myringotomy, there is a small incision can be made along with the suction, and there is a catheter can be inserted and to drain the excessive amount of fluid from the middle ear. And the next one is the grommet insertion. So the grommet insertion means there is a instrument, that is tube can be inserted into the middle ear and to remove the excessive fluid from the middle ear. So the grommet means that is one plastic tube or the catheter or any instrument. So there is a, it can be inserted into the middle ear and to drain the fluid from the middle ear. So the next one is the tympanotomy. There is a opening of the tympanic membrane, and if there is any perforation can be present in the tympanic membrane, and there is a tympanotomy can be performed. So there is a surgical management includes the myringotomy and grommet insertion and tympanotomy. So it is the surgical management for the otitis media with the effusion. So it completes the otitis media.